Classifying ornamental plants. Objectives describe systems used for classifying plants. Describe the differences between annuals, biennials, and perennials. Identify the major groups of plants. Plant classification. A means of grouping plants according to their similarities, such as their botanical and descriptive characteristics. For example, flowering patterns, stems, life structures, life cycles, genetics, etc. Plant classification. This systematic classification is referred to as taxonomy. People who study plant characteristics are called taxonomists. Plant classification botanical. Identifies plants according to their physical characteristics. Descriptive. System that identifies plants by their use and life cycle. Plant classification botanical, categories. This system's characteristics are classified using 7 categories, from general to specific. Categories: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Plant classification: honey locust tree, Plantae trachyophyta, Angiospermopsida, Rosales, Leguminosae, Gleditsia, Triacanthos. Plant classification. All plants are in the kingdom Plantae, plants with tissue specialized for conducting materials, and all are in the phylum Trachyophyta. There are many classes, orders, and families of plants. Even though each plant is categorized using at least 7 names, we call plants by only their last 2 scientific names, genus, species. Plant classification. This is a naming system called binomial nomenclature, which means a 2-name system of identifying genus, uppercase, species, lowercase. This classification system was developed by Carolus Linnaeus. Plant classification. Genus is a group of plants that are similar to each other. Species is a group of plants that are genetically similar in that they can pollinate each other. Plant classification: Gerber daisy, common name Gerbera jamesonii. Poinsettias, common name Euphorbia pulcherrima. Japanese elm tree, common name Ulmus davidiana var. Japonica. Plant classification. When classifying plants, they are classified more by their stem types, foliage retention and flowering patterns, visual characteristics. Also, plants are classified by their life structures, life cycle and genetics. Plant classification: vegetative growth period. The life structure and cycle is based on their vegetative growth period. Leaves, stem. Reproductive growth period. Asexual, sexual, seeds, etc. Dormancy growth period. Winter, summer, fall and spring. Plant classification. Plants are divided into three life cycles, start to finish. Annuals complete their life cycle in 1 growing season. Biennials completes their life cycle in 2 growing seasons. Perennials, plants that live for 3 or more growing seasons. Annuals, they have to be replanted every year. Have an herbaceous stem, which is a stem with no woody tissue in it. Summer annuals. Planted in spring, harvested in fall. Winter annuals. Planted in fall, harvested in following summer. Petunias, marigolds, geraniums, impatiens, etc. Biennials complete their vegetative growth in the first year, and then usually flowers during their second season. They must also be replanted every year. Cabbage, beets, carrots, vegetables, perennials: herbaceous, shrubs, woody, maple, apple, etc. Flower for a short time. They can be both soft, herbaceous, and hard woody plants. Perennials do not usually have a predetermined age of death. Herbaceous, shrubs. Woody, maple, apple, etc. Major groups of plants: bryophytes, ferns, gymnosperms, angiosperms. The plant kingdom has become successful all over the earth. They have done so by adapting to a wide variety of different conditions and niches. The following are some major groups of plants: bryophytes, ferns, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Major groups of plants: bryophytes. Non-vascular plants live in damp areas. Mosses, liverworts. Major groups of plants: ferns. Vascular plants, which produce spores, have no true leaves. Major groups of plants: gymnosperms. Plants that reproduce with seeds, such as conifers, pines, cedars, and deciduous plants. Major groups of plants: angiosperms, lilies, bedding plants, etc. Seed plants, whose seeds develop in a fruiting body. Reproduce by flowers. Lilies, bedding plants, etc.